to start.
We are online now.
Cool. And uh,
We should provide the link.
in our chat, right? And
Yeah.
oh my God, some. Ludmila, I ask you to look at our comments. Yeah,
Okay.
because I will not see anything. So let's wait for our guests.
Yeah, maybe a couple of minutes for you to join.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, yeah. Hi. I see that there are two people watching us,
Three,
but
6. Okay. Maybe a couple of more minutes.
yeah,
Maybe
please
you,
write something in the chat. Maybe say hi to us or to everyone.
yeah,
And
maybe you've got something to share with us about the first task. Was it difficult or no?
some bad words about our requirements in general.
Yeah.
And also, if you have time, you as usual can make your drink of choice. As usual, I have tea. Ludmila, do you have yours
Yeah, today I've got a
today?
cup of coffee.
Oh, cool. Happy you are. So,
Yeah, maybe a couple of words about the rules we are going to follow during the stream. As it was
mhm.
promised, you will be able to ask the questions, but we will start with providing comprehensive feedbacks to some works. We will select them absolutely randomly using this random tool generator. We will follow the time and check how many works we will be able to look through. We will do our best to provide feedback. Uh, it may be better to give a detailed feedback to less works, yeah, and to analyze your works in general, but also we will save some minutes for you to ask your questions.
Yeah, and we are going to spend together with you today near 1 hour. And also, I would like to say that during providing feedback for particular work, we will discuss common issues, maybe what questions should be asked there. So don't think that we just will provide feedback for one particular person. No, we will talk about the whole topic in general. And we have 16 uh, works, perform tasks you sent to us. So here we have from 1 to 16 numbers, and we will press on spin button and select the number of the work, and we'll discuss it. Uh, Ludmila, can you please check any comments, any questions maybe right now in the chat, or we can start?
No, just general greetings, so I suppose we can go to
Okay,
the
cool.
main part.
Yes, so are you nervous, people? What will be the first one? Let's see. Oh my God, oh my God.
Okay.
Wow. Okay,
Number
cool.
8.
Number 8, done. So press done, right? No, okay,
Yes.
let's. So 8, we have 8, 8, 8, and let's look at it. Okay, so here
Ludo,
what
could
we
you please like add a little bit like size to make it bigger? In
scroll
Yeah,
okay,
that's better. Thanks.
cool. And even here. So, first of all, what we have here, we have like a question and refers to requirements. Maybe it's better like starting from this, uh, from one requirement, and then like list of questions. And maybe even better to add in general like requirements, our, for example, text of it, to everybody can understand. For sure, if you need to analyze big text
Document, yeah.
document, yeah, it's better to just prepare a list of questions. But as we have not so many requirements to analyze, so you can
Yeah,
uh,
remember that the main idea is do not ask questions, but to have the answer for them. So make it easier for a
ah
person.
and let's start from the beginning. And
Okay.
the task was for you is to analyze requirements. But what does it mean? Actually, your task was to ask questions. So, analyzing requirements, it's not like finding a bugs in it, but
Yeah.
we will add details here. But the your task was to find some things what is incorrect in general and ask a question. So usually when you get a task to analyze requirements, it means that you need to ask questions what is unclear for you, right?
Yeah, I suppose the student who asked, okay, not student, maybe the participant of our marathon, yeah, who asked the question, is it close to bug reporting? No, that isn't so close to bug reporting. That's more about asking questions. Of course, you should point out to some discrepancies, but also you should fill all the gaps in the requirements.
Yeah. And if we are starting to talk from like these main things of analyzing requirements, um, your questions also should be clear for everyone. Yeah. So don't forget not just asking questions quickly, for example, or as much as possible, but you should also formulate your questions that they should be clear and uh,
Polite as well.
well, yeah, and atomic, for example. Okay, so maybe let's start to review this question. What browser is exactly? Good question. Absolutely, we should know what. Browsers operation system we should use to open our application. Okay. What is the definition of breadcrumbs? What do you mean by definition? If you know if you don't know what are breadcrumbs, you should Google it. But if you ask what exactly should be written in breadcrumbs,
Or
you
where
can
should they
find
follow?
follow here, for example, you can find this information in our Warframe. Yeah, here we have this breadcrumbs, so maybe it's not a good question to ask, as I see. Okay, let's move on. The next one, valid and invalid values for your name field. And this is very good questions about the maximum and the minimum. Please remember that if we have input fields, we should ask about what symbols can be added there, and minimum and maximum length of them. And you should ask for every input field this information.
Yeah, but also it would be good in this case, maybe particularly to this field, to ask about valid symbols. Yeah, what symbols are allowed to
Yeah,
answer,
yeah.
not
Mm,
valid and invalid values. What
y-
do you expect to hear? These questions are great. They are basics, as Ludmila B mentioned. But still,
mhm.
you should ask about valid
Just
values and
valid, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
minimum and maximum. But the questions are good. Agree.
Yeah. The same for surname, and also this is good a point to ask these questions to each of input field separately, not to mix them up. Yeah, because you should remember that all this you wait for answers on all these questions, so you should ask all these questions. It's not a problem. It's okay to copy paste by just changing for sure.
Yeah,
And think
but
uh,
asking these questions to each field will guarantee that you will receive, yeah, validation for each field.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Requirements is missed. Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
that's right.
The same about next input field. Okay.
Luda, could
Uh,
you stop, please? We've
yeah.
got a questions. Oh, I don't
Uh-huh.
understand task. Should I have created a test case? No, actually, we are talking about the requirements. You should have all the information you need to create a test case.
In the
So,
future.
in the future. Yeah,
Yeah.
so now you're working with the documents of business analytics, and they are not full, they are not enough for you to go to the following stage. The following stage, yeah, is creating of test cases. And analyzing the requirements is also means to find these gaps. These
Yeah.
gaps means to find out all the information you need for future testing.
Yeah, your goal is to have the full set of information which will be enough for you to understand the application, its goal, how it should work, or some feature, for example. So this like understand business logic and the main some things about your form. The second one, for sure, there can be some inconsistencies between some requirements, and many people of you who sent us perform task found these problems. It's very cool, but we are not just focusing on analyzing it's a text
Text, yeah.
yes, like finding errors here. So here, for example, we have just in different types of this how to call it, Ludmila? Qu- Question marks, right?
Quotation marks, yeah.
Quotation marks, sorry. Yeah, so but this is a good catch, but it's not enough. And the third, your goal is to have enough information for further testing, for further creation checklists or test cases based on all this information. So our goal to like this, we have three goals, and when we are talking about requirements analysis, we asking questions: what is unclear, what is missed, what issues we have to clarify all unclear and incorrect information in the
Yeah,
requirements.
maybe one more example make it more clear for you.
Uh-huh.
When developers will look through these requirements, they will also ask some important questions that will help them to code, yeah, to create this application. So
Mhm.
each member of the development team will ask the questions, yeah, of course, about discrepancies, about incompleteness, and so on. But also, you should ask all the questions you need for further work with this feature.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. So here we have as well the same how we ask you, we answer your question, sorry.
Format
And
for the field.
Maybe we can discuss in the next, I hope, in the next.
No, we've he's got such questions. So she, I
Ah,
don't know. Number
uh-huh.
7, yeah. What is the valid format for the field?
Okay, yeah. So, okay, let's discuss in this work. We will discuss all the questions, common questions, but this is like a typical mistakes for a lot of works, and this like things for you to remember. So, in our application, we have like ordinary input fields, for example, name, surname. So you can enter for sure some specific information, but in general, it's quite a lot of symbols can be typed here. But we have some specific uh, input fields, for example, email. And for sure, here we also have like minimum and maximum numbers, but the most important here to ask the to specify the format. Here we have email, so mm, in email we have like these three parts. First one, then we have this add, and then
Nickname, yeah,
yeah,
nickname,
yeah,
at, and then the
add.
domain part.
Yes, yes, yes. And the main with all it should be also like with some this dot com, for example, like in gmail.com, or for example, I don't know what other we have, like for example, made.ru or something like that. So here the most important thing ask about format, and the same for the phone number. Yeah,
Yeah,
what format here should be
used.
specified? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the format
Okay.
is actually a good question.
Yeah, it's a good. Let's go. Let's move on. Phone number is mandatory. It's also many of you find this information that some fields are not specified as mandatory, but we have this information in our Warframe. But it's better to ask this question. On Warframe, we have this information. In our requirements, we have another one where it's correct. And also today, you were received good information what is Warframe, what is mockup, and what is a prototype. So uh, uh, together with Ludmila, yes, we think that if you have in your project just Warframe, you should ask what is the
More
correct,
reliable.
yeah,
Yeah,
requirements or this Warframe. But
because
usually,
it's really sketchy. This is like the very first vision for you to understand the requirements. So all these discrepancies you should find out. Who can you trust to?
yes,
Designer
yes,
who created or business analytics?
yeah, yeah, agree. Or even Warframe, I think even can
Yeah,
create a
maybe
business
business.
analyst. And for example, not so much time ago, we have some such situation on my current project where business analyst paint this Warframe and described in requirements radio buttons, but displayed them as
Check.
checkboxes. Yeah, so it's a question, and we also have such problem in our requirements in mockup, and it's better to ask what is correct. Yeah, checkbox the same mandatory or not. Uh, here we have like other types of input fields. So here we also should ask minimum, maximum, what symbols can be entered here. This is also a good question. Yeah, also we have, if we have drop down, um, also maybe the question not asked in a good form, the form suggested but not specified in the requirements. It's better not the form, but maybe Warframe, you
Yeah.
mean, yeah? Okay, and the same. Okay, we have like a problem, healthy issues or maybe health issues, but the main problem here that the A is missed here, so
Yeah.
it's a small bug. Okay, maybe also like it's possible two options, right, Ludmila?
Yeah, that's
And
both of
this,
these variants are possible, but still, that's a point to discuss. We've got such situation now in our project when we were decided double booking, single booking. Is it requires spaces? Should it be like linked together and so on? So this question is like, has the right to live to be asked? That's
yeah,
okay.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, don't be afraid of asking to like providing some improvements you think, or to ask maybe from your experience some questions. So it's okay, yeah, to ask this. The same and uh, good, like interesting question. What is the requirements for the buttons we have on in our
I
application?
know the colleague who will read this question and answer different.
Yes, absolutely. And what do you mean by this question? So this question is like very like what
Too
very
general.
general. Yes, so you should be specified. What do you mean? But color, like
Size,
size,
font,
or yeah,
or
yeah, or
maybe
maybe
functions of these
yeah.
buttons.
What is the most important for us? Okay, yeah. And also very good questions. Here we have like just one, but it can be more. But in general, what happened, for example, if we left our mandatory fields blank? Here we would say that nothing happened because you just left your mandatory fields
And you're watching
em.
the screen and they are
Yeah,
empty. That's okay.
okay. Not to forget to ask to push the button, right? To
Yeah,
click on the button.
maybe you mean to leave all the fields and clicking the button. If yes, okay, this is error
Yeah,
message, exact text of these
yeah,
messages,
and this is very cool. Yeah.
but also
Mhm.
you've got a lot of text to be asked, confirmation messages, and so
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
And maybe
Let's
the
see.
last,
Maybe in some other works we will see this.
yeah,
Almost
I,
no.
I, I was about to spoiler about additional questions to drop down, but
Okay, maybe let's review and maybe yeah, like
yeah,
to have some intrigue.
yeah,
Okay,
okay.
but in general, very good. Some questions are missed. Also, like a general recommendation, this should be first. And maybe in our like our document is not so big, just to put questions there. Maybe we will see some such types of work. But also a lot of good questions were asked. Let's move on to the next.
Yeah,
Okay, so done and again spin.
yes.
Next. Who will be the next one? Okay, let's see. Hmm?
I suppose you're not shy because you can see that all the works are anonymous. Okay,
Yeah.
number one.
Wow, number
Now,
one. Cool.
now we will see
Yeah, let's
the.
open this task. Okay. Hello. It's very good that some of you like and we would like to say that you're all who sent us the task. You are very good because you send us email in English. All your tasks also was in English, were in English, and also you try to be like polite and create emails with a correct structure, something like that, right?
I'll try to be a little bit toxic, not all of you,
Not all.
but still that's a good, yeah, that's a good point. Remember that there are some communication rules, even if you are working with colleagues through email. So do not forget about subjects of the letters, yeah,
Yeah.
some greetings and so on.
And Ludmila, I think it's a good like topic to our channel in general, right? Okay, so
Yes.
we have hello. Hello, cool. My little work is below. Actually, I can suggest you not to write this my little work. Okay, your work is great. So
Yeah,
you done
it,
what
it, it
you
it
can.
has your structure, and we will, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
say
So
that you've
never
got your
write something.
ideas.
Okay, sorry. It's a big. It's like a bad work, but can you please check it? No, it's okay. Everything is okay. We are studying all these topics, so it's okay.
Luda,
Here we
could you
have
please add some more again?
cool.
Make it
Yeah,
a little
yes,
bit.
sure.
Okay.
Okay, better, better.
Yeah.
So here we have like specification. This like a requirement, the problem, and like some suggestions or maybe questions, something like that. This is would say this is for you. It's you shouldn't like send these things to business analyst or but this good start for you because we have like from Kulikov and also in our article we have like problem with requirements but your goal to ask questions so you understand okay this is incomplete requirements what information is not enough what should I ask yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you are trying to recollect properties of good requirements, if you are try to analyze, yeah, some discrepancies, still keep in your mind that if it's like a work document, not this one, yeah. So in this case, please
Mhm. Yeah maybe
only questions.
yeah while we're studying so it's a good like things sometimes it even can be asked during the interviews but in general if you are talking about requirements analysis it's a question so it's better to specify the ways to the page okay ask a question about this title looks better with an exclamation mark again so here we have this exclamation mark in here we haven't so it's better to ask what title is correct should explanation mark be or not right and in wireframe this form instead there also like it's possible to add all these things but we should remember what is 2D we should go to the requirements
Yeah, and
but if
find
you
out.
yeah yeah but if you just add some question here so it's even will be better but it's also this good this is possible but it's depend on the like the task how it
Yeah.
formulated.
If it was just like for yourself as list of problem, maybe that's okay. But if you are going to send this
Mm-hmm,
list of
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
questions, try to refer to the proper
Yeah,
points of the requirements.
yeah, absolutely. Is missing cool, incomplete characters input restriction. Yeah. What in general maybe your question can be like more clear, add some words, also be polite, but the question is like understandable, but not formulated in the good way, but it's like time to practice, that's all. And also the same question, how you can imagine how your business analyst can answer you if we are talking about this in a writing form. So again, if you will write like in the previous work, it's better to ask all these questions for each
For each field. Yeah.
definitely, yeah, is missing. Cool. Inconsistency, yeah, in mandatory or not. In requirements, it's not specified, but in the word frame, this is a good, yeah, this is
Yeah.
a question and explanation for it. Very good. The same as checkboxes, yeah, also. Uh, but here the question is missed. So, okay, it should be checkboxes or radio button.
Yeah. Or when business analytics will read this, is it your decision?
Yeah, yeah,
Is it your
okay.
suggestion or
Well, I
what?
would say, okay, this is a text. Okay, and what? my
Yeah.
my question. Okay, again, drop down mandatory. It not specifies. So here, like two types of questions here for this drop down. Also, it's not specified that what items drop
Items.
down has. Yeah.
This
Okay.
is a spoiler I'd I'd like to mention to the previous work. Yeah,
Yeah.
So, because definitely, if you have no specified values, maybe better to say for the drop down, of course, you should ask what are the values included into the drop down list.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So again, this is a problem. Okay, you understand this, but you should ask a question on this. The same, what others? Please specify it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Options, radio checkbox, okay. And correct, we also have like different, here we have like this type of text, but here we have another one. This good, this healthy.
Again, yeah, that's a
Again,
problem.
yeah. Yeah, and here you ask some questions regarding the GUI
User
of
interface, yeah.
yeah, yeah. This is a good questions, and for sure we even should start from them. But now we don't focus on it on GUI because there are lots of types of questions here. But we are focusing mostly on functions, on functional requirements, right? But
Yeah, but
but
the,
this is
yeah,
yeah,
quite possible question.
yeah. So in general, it's a good start. You see the problem in requirements. You see the you formulate good questions. Some of them are missed, but it's okay for now. And so it's a very good start. Yeah.
Yeah,
So let's move
absolutely.
on, right? Yeah.
Yes,
So
done.
next one. Ah, spin. Oh, the next. Okay. You want to be the next one? Okay.
Number
Oh,
4. Yeah.
let's
I am
go on.
interested. I'm interested. Are you afraid that your work will be
Yeah.
this the next one, or are you waiting for your
Yeah, are
work to
you?
be
Yeah. And are you happy that you were provided um,
the
feedback
feedback?
especially for you? Yeah. So what here we have? Oh, it's a cool that we
Yeah,
have like other type of providing questions, and we can have like separate list of questions. We can have another one just adding a no a comments. It's also possible, and it's also a good way of asking the questions. And maybe we can see in the future work a third type of questions.
yeah. One more.
Yeah, one. Again, what browsers and even operation system? Very good question. Agree, absolutely. Here as well we have this exclamation
Luda,
mark.
I've forgotten to ask you to
Again,
resize.
sorry, I forgot. Okay, so
That's
now it will be
yeah,
okay. Yeah, cool. So about exclamation and also exists in a frame but missed here. So what will we use? Good. Maybe
yeah,
yeah,
good.
it will be correct to use something like maybe like uh, this question should be specified like more clear, but in general it's okay. Next one. Fill in this form. Here we have there. What all will we use?
Yeah, good question.
Mhm. Phone number in mandatory. What all again? So there, like we have such type of questions, inconsistencies between inside the requirements, or in our case, we have inconsistencies in requirements and the wireframe, and all this should be asked. So these all good questions. So it radio button again. Aha, yeah, this all the questions. Drop down. Uh, it's correct shown by wireframe. It's correct.
With
It's also
mandatory.
like
Your decision sounds like a decision, not a
yeah,
question.
you should ask question. Other. What do you mean by other? Okay. Uh, radio button. Yeah, it's also some description I missed, and also has another wording. Which one we use? Okay. Healthy issue. Wrong spelling. Agree with you. So
Yeah, this work, I suppose, mostly concentrates on finding discrepancies, yeah, finding issues, inconsistencies, Okay, that's cool. You found one important moment about others, that you have know the list of options for your drop down, but still keep in mind that some information is missed, like important information is missed completely.
And what information we mean? We mean that after analyze requirements, you should test your application and you should write your checklist or test cases. So you should focus on the information which will be useful for you to test your application. So this minimum, maximum value, what values can be inputted in the input field, and so on.
Yeah, do not
Yeah.
forget about exact text of error messages. That's very important for user to understand the
Yeah.
mistake he or she has made. Yeah.
Yes. So, but it's a good start. So you have like from three
You
types of
found, yeah,
all.
you
Yeah,
found
one.
all discrepancies.
Yeah, this is good. So let's move on, I think,
Yeah.
right? Okay, next one. Spin.
Okay, so long.
Oh, 9 or 10. 10.
10. Okay.
It's 10. Yeah. Let's open it. I remember about Zoom now.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, also we like having an email. Hello, I would like to send my like maybe options of mistake I found in requirements. And here we also like have these problems, especially exactly with requirements. So explanation. We also pay attention that we have this different with a small and a big uh, letter.
Capital, yeah, and
Yeah, it's
letters.
a very small but important question to notice this. This is a problem, yes. Also, we specify all this uh, input field with asterisks. Do you know this English word? If not, Google was that or use
It's
Google
very
Translate for it.
useful word. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and too close. So it's just it's like GUI problem. It's possible to ask.
Yeah, just suggestions to improve.
Yeah, yeah, why not? But still, we're not focusing on this.
But again,
Uh,
try to ask questions, even if you like suggest something. Maybe we should. Could you please?
yeah,
Uh,
agree.
and so on.
And here also I would like to mention that sometimes on the previous works we say use that for example we should ask the same questions for each input field, for example, but there can be such type of questions that can be or problems that can be asked in general. So I think it's okay here to like combine all fields in one like a question.
Question,
Yeah,
comment
because this
here.
about the same, yeah. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. And again here are certain mandatory requirements but not such information about. So it means that there in Warframe we have uh, right.
Another variant, yeah.
Not, yeah, so it's better to write in such way. It's a
Yeah.
big phrase, but it's better to write because
What
from
is the right variant? What is,
yeah,
yeah.
yes. Now it's quite unclear. Okay, yeah, as well, radio button checkboxes. So, most of you found a lot of good problems inside
Yeah,
the
you've
requirements.
just read my mind. Yeah. That you're good bug hunters.
Yeah, yeah, this is very good. Um, the same spelling mistakes, good, and also the list of questions to the requirements. What is the link to the form? I think it can be possible to ask, but maybe we can see on the here, and also we have a breadcrumb. So for me, it's a answered question, but okay, it's possible to
Maybe
ask.
I suppose maybe the better answer will be how to open the form, how to read
Mhm,
the form, what should I
mhm.
do to read the form? Maybe not the link, but what actions are required
Yeah,
to have access to this form.
exactly this form.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. What is the path to breadcrumbs to the page? Maybe it's better to specify on the Warframe. I see these breadcrumbs. Are they correct? Something like that. Yeah, because like you have this information. What is a logo icon? It's also good question. Now we can see it. It will some logo, but we don't know exactly.
Yeah, maybe the question is good. Will this logo be like for the whole site or maybe for this form specifically, yeah, created?
Do we have this information? But here we have such type of question. What is a link to a gallery with photos? You see that we have this link. In here we specify link to gallery with photos. For me, it's like clear information. So some new page will be opened with all photos of all pets we have.
Yeah,
But
if you need some specific information, make
mhm,
your questions more specific.
yeah. Also, let's discuss the next general things based on this question. What's the maximum number of symbols? Why just maximum? Uh, for we have two type of input fields. If we have like not mandatory input field, we can ask
Optional.
just optional. Yeah, we can ask just maximum because minimum is zero. We can add nothing to this field. But if our field is mandatory, so we also have a minimum for this field, right?
Yeah, and it isn't always like one symbol. It can be five symbols and so on.
Yeah, one, yeah, yes, yes. So this question should be asked. And also not to forget about not just length, but also what type of symbols can be typed there, right? Uh, Also, let's look at this question. To 4, is there any missing information? Maybe this is just incorrect numbering, not to like to make your question like to imagine something new about some missing information. No, just numbers missed, I think, right?
Still, it's better to ask.
Okay. Your age was a type of symbols, numeric, alphabetical, or both. I think for age, maybe it's like better to ask should we enter just numeric symbols?
Should
Because
they
it's a
be
age. Yeah.
integers, yeah or no? How many symbols? And a good business question to this field, but let's it
Mhm.
safe.
Yeah. Well, let's discuss maybe with the next.
Some of you asked a very good question to this
Yeah,
field.
absolutely. So email maximum, okay, mandatory, and we have this. So you remember about this ad, but we also discuss it. The best way to ask a format. Also numbers max numbers, but format is better. Drop down values mentioned. This is a good
Here,
question. Yeah.
yeah,
Which
should
is
be
the other
included.
way? Yes. There are no options for a person. Okay, but this is a checkbox, so you can uncheck everything, and that's all. You should know.
You're
You
not
should.
ready to
Yeah,
deal with problematic animal.
yeah. So you
Uh,
should just check.
yeah, it is not like mandatory elements, so you feel free to check or not check.
Yeah. Also, font, letter size, color. It's a good questions in general, but also we are not for now focusing on GUI because it's like it will be a lot of questions.
Yeah,
But
very,
in
very
general, good.
specific. Yeah,
Yeah, so we have here like two types of three goals our. So problems inside the requirements, some questions not full but okay, let's it's good start, which help us to have information for our testing. This is good.
Yeah,
So
you see
yeah.
one more variant of like displaying the results of the work. So it's
Hmm.
good that we have like very different
Very,
works.
yeah, agree. So, and I believe that maybe the last
That's
one,
all.
yeah.
Yeah.
So done and the spin and the last work will be maybe not the last one, sorry, because we have some very short.
Eight was
Mm?
okay. Remove the choice. Maybe it's better to click not done, but remove the choice.
Because we have eight already,
Yeah.
right?
It
Oh,
was
I
the
don't.
very first work.
Sorry. Okay. Wow. 10.
And it was again, it was, uh, yeah, remove this choice.
I need instruction for the
Okay,
site.
happy number 13.
Yeah. So let's see at this work. And I think that we have like small one. Problems should be to you. It's
Again,
may.
resize, please.
Oh my god! Oh my god! So we have like several problems for our frame for to you, like
Yeah, this is
suggestion.
like grammar suggestion. Good one.
Yeah, but also check spelling of your
Should.
words again. Yeah. Three boxes have ticks and they should be clear. Okay, that when we come here, these check boxes are checked. This good, I think,
Yeah. But maybe you
notice.
should, yeah, but maybe you should ask the question, should they be selected by default?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And here the frame point is mandatory. Yeah. So uh, like a good start, but it's quite you see short. So I think that if you are with us, this event like show you direction what to do.
Luda, could you please recheck if the animals with some problems mandatory field or not? Yeah, that was absolutely my mistake. When I mentioned that they are not mandatory and you can choose nothing,
Uh-huh.
yeah, but they are mandatory.
Yeah.
And maybe, yeah, maybe that's a good idea to
Ah,
add
yeah.
one more
Mm-hmm.
checkbox, yeah, with the idea, no, I'm not ready. Good
Mm-hmm.
point.
Yeah,
Thank
very
you for
good.
mentioning it.
Wow, you see
You
that.
you're really attentive. Thank you a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, cool. Wow, good. So let's one more.
One more, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, 9.
9.
Okay, and
I do
here
not
we
remember.
have our PDF file, and there we have a name. So
So
what I
sorry,
should do?
we were trying to do it as anonymous as possible. And
But
if
this
you
is
are,
a PDF. Yeah, should we open it right with
and maybe,
this one? Can you stop or I maybe
yeah,
should
I will remove, yeah,
stop?
the sharing
Yeah,
of the screen.
yeah.
Open, please, and share it again.
Mm-hmm.
In case the person is really shy,
Yeah,
but
we also don't like to like a show. I think it's
personal data, yeah, is very
yeah.
sensitive data.
We are from IPAM.
Yeah, we knows about sensitive data, everything.
Yeah.
Some of you created a document with like mentioning this is confidential.
Yeah.
We like that a lot.
So, can you see it in a good
Yeah,
way?
yeah, that's okay.
So here we have like good questions for our goal to do further testing. So for each input field, we have questions regarding minimum and maximum. Is it possible to use letters? I think it's quite clear that yes, for name and surname we will use letters. But next question is very good. Which alphabet letter? So which language we will use? It's a good. Can we use numbers? If sometime it's possible, yeah.
Yeah, in the
Special
names.
symbols, which one? Punctuation marks, which one? Space. It's also possible to ask all these questions.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the only question I suggest to skip this space at the beginning, middle, at the end. So this like also let's
The
talk
idea for
for
future testing.
yes, yes. So let's talk about one more thing. So some questions we should ask to clarify our requirements, but also we have other type of questions about, for example, this about space, and this more like our ideas for do negative testing, for example. So I think this question shouldn't be asked. And again, good questions. Again, the same questions we have for the next field.
Field. Yeah.
Yeah. For the again next one, and here we have a question: mandatory or not? Cool, but please pay attention. So after this, the person started to copy paste. So in that general, copy paste is okay, it's good,
For
but
testers, yeah.
yeah, but you should always turn your mind on. So here we have this all this information, for example, but why you should ask this question again? We thought that this is just a copy paste.
Yeah, and
Right.
some fields were specified as mandatory fields, both in the requirements and in the
Yeah,
wireframe.
yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe the question is not so valid.
yeah. Here also good question: what option is selected by default? We believe that in wireframe it was specified, but it can be like
Radio button, so
rechecked.
checkbox here for this label.
I remember.
Allergetic, checkbox, and in the wireframe, radio
It's a radio
buttons.
button. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
please be more attentive, yeah, and do not miss such
yeah.
problems as well.
This is not a checkbox, this is radio button. And also, some of you, if you don't know what is the difference between radio button and checkbox, what it is, so please Google, it's very important. Input field again. Uh, Here we have like good suggestion, and this is our like a first goal, like a business logic in general. We can say this is a business logic question. Uh, Good suggestion. For example, if we have no, maybe it's better to have this field even not active. When we select yes, this field becomes active. Uh, Again, as this one
Yeah.
type of field. Yeah, it's here like a question, but maybe we are more experienced and thinking about this like about a suggestion to improve. Again, contains by default. Okay, the same.
Maybe questions of different types here. Okay, what
Mhm.
options are available? Good questions.
Yeah, what is
Question
the
for drop
default
down.
here? Yeah, yes, for drop down we can ask this one. And again, mandatory selected. It's the same. So you can see that there are a lot of like copy paste, but this in this case it's a good. You just check
How
yourself.
many options can I choose?
Yeah. Also,
If
for
that's
us,
about
this is about checkbox. I think for this is not a question. You can choose as much as possible. So usually there is no like limitations of choosing any amount
number
of
of checkboxes, yeah.
checkboxes. Yeah.
There is limitation for radio buttons, but for
Yeah.
checkboxes, you can
No.
select as many variants as you want.
Yeah, yes. I'm sorry. Agree. And cancel. Yeah, also this is a good type of questions. After clicking on a button, maybe after clicking on the cancel button, what page goes to click on? Maybe here it can be even more general question. What happened with the application, with the form after clicking on the cancel button? Yeah,
Yeah.
but this is good type of questions, and also you should ask as we have this like question in our first work what requirements for the button, so you should ask what happened after clicking on this button, what page will be displayed, or what confirmation messages appears, and so on.
Yeah, maybe some words and about, like in general,
Yeah.
about your works, and maybe you will have questions. So I'm just trying to recollect some important moments not to skip. It was
Mm-hmm.
mentioned about selecting, about identifying options if there is no information from drop down. It was
Mm-hmm.
mentioned about default values for all the fields.
Mm-hmm.
Concentrate more on the functional questions, please. Okay, I've got a very good question for you. Oh, okay, about messages.
Yeah.
Uh, it was like was a very problematic uh, point for you. Most of you haven't asked any questions, not about confirmation, not about error messages, not about what will happen with the field if invalid, yeah, input. Nice that some of you asked about the buttons, yeah, and the last work showed it, yeah, what will happen if I do not fill the fields and click find me a friend. What will happen if I click cancel? Will I be redirected? Also, I remember a good question about logo, not only about the image of it, but also should the logo lead to the main page? It
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
also a good question.
Yeah. Yeah.
One more important point, and about age limitation, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very good.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
if we are talking about different types of question, we've mentioned that there are some questions mostly focusing on functional. Maybe some questions are functional, concentrating on UI, yeah, on the interface. But there are a great group of questions devoted to business logic. That means that you will suggest some variants of behavior of your final user and so on, and maybe ask some business questions. So some of you asked about the limitation of the age, so the period of the age, for example, starting with 16, 21 age, or and what is like the last year when the person can have a pet and so on. So business questions are very good point.
Yeah, if we have this age like input fields, we are not asking just about minimum and maximum value, like numbers, length of this field, but also about what Ludmila's just told you, just about the direct minimum and maximum values which can be inputted, and it's a business logic. Yeah.
Yeah, Denise has also suggested ideas. He has found one more bug. Yeah, the link is like leading to the main page, but the form is opened. But I suppose this is just a warframe, so you shouldn't really concentrate on it. But
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
we see that you are good bug
But is this
hunters.
good? Yeah, wow, cool,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Okay, so let me summarize. When you have a task, when you have a requirements and you need to analyze them, your goal is to ask all questions. And there are three types of questions. One again. So, firstly, after reading all the requirements, you should understand the purpose of your form, of your feature, of your application. If something unclear, you should ask these questions, like in general business logic of your application. Second one, for sure you can find bugs in your requirements itself, themselves. Yeah, so contradictions, in fullness, and so on and so
Spelling
forth.
mistakes and so
Spelling, yeah, contradictions between the requirements and some pictures, for example, and so on. And the third point, you should think about your requirements as a source of information for further testing. Firstly, you will create some testing documentation, checklist or test cases, and then you will test your application. Is it enough information to ask you to you have? So here we ask for input field about minimum and maximum, what symbols can be entered here. And for example, we have some fields like age, where we can ask in general about values, email format, phone number format, and if we have drop downs, it's what values we have, what values is selected by default. You are happy to have a wireframe, but sometimes you will have just text. That's all, no picture. So all questions should be asked here. And what happened after clicking on a cancel button, on a submit button, what warning messages, error messages, confirmation messages appear, in what case, and so on. Yeah. Or what happened if you enter incorrect data or empty data,
yeah,
what,
maybe
and,
some
and
of you
clicking on the
have
button.
questions while we were summarizing. Yeah,
Yeah,
a couple
yeah.
of minutes for you to ask some questions. Maybe something was unclear.
Maybe we were too quick, I think.
Yeah. Still, one more possibility for you to ask if some information wasn't clear for you. Maybe you want to argue with us about some information. Let's discuss it just quickly.
Yeah, or clarify something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but in general, all provided works were not bad. So some of you had a good start. Some of you really impressed us with providing good questions. Yeah, maybe uh, um, like having this good structure and so on. Sorry. What, Ludmila, don't you remember maybe
Maybe
to show?
number three, the
Or
work
maybe number
number.
three?
Yeah, one more interesting way
Uh-huh,
to
yeah.
structure the information just to share with
Yeah,
you.
to share with you. Yeah, like having a question after
Okay, a
the.
little bit more size. Could you
Oh my
please?
God, Lina, sorry. So it's also like third type of asking question, just after the and by uh,
Yeah, very good way. You can see underline, is it correct,
yeah, with the
default
version.
values, and so
Yes, like
on, quantity of characters.
the only problem I say that
Yeah,
just don't use red. Maybe I don't know, other type of, maybe blue, something like that,
yeah.
but not red in
But the
general.
structure is great. As Luda mentioned, yeah, the requirements are not so huge. So you
Hmm.
can just provide the section and ask
Yeah,
questions to this.
maybe just using this like from other paragraph, right? Okay, Ludmila, do we have any questions?
No, it was very informative. All is clear.
Yeah,
Thank you
cool.
for staying with us. Someone mentioned that the task was very interesting, but I had only 3 hours to complete it, so I
Yeah,
would add a lot. That's cool that you understand what should you add and that you
yeah.
feel some points to improve.
Hmm.
Still, despite the fact you wasn't able to manage it as you like to do it, we still hope it was useful.
Yeah. And bye. See you.
Bye for today. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.